Good evening, everyone. How are you all? I am good. I am good. Thank you for asking. How about you guys, people? Did you all do the homework? Yesterday I given one question for all of you to try. Yeah. Was that easy? The question? Okay. So most of the class is here, so I guess we can start now. Yes. So before starting up, can you guys please confirm in chat that my voice is clearly audible and that you can see my screen as well? Yeah. Great. Great. No noise. No, sir. Okay. Rejoin then. Rejoin. If you are not getting my voice, rejoin. If you're not able to see the screen, then also please rejoin. Is the voice audible now properly? Okay, everyone. So we'll be starting now. So before starting up with the new question or new problem statement, we'll be taking the problem statement that I have given to you guys yesterday as a homework. Okay. So I guess one of the student has given me. Okay. In the chat. Okay, so this is a little bit wrong. So I'll be taking that question now. So the question was you have to take two numbers, add them and print the result. Yes, this was the question. So let's see how the flowchart is going to be. So for flowchart, we are going to start. Okay, in the next line, we are going to declare the variables. So since there are two variables that I'm going to require, so I'll be writing X and Y, and there is going to be one more variable because in with this one, I'm going to store the result of addition. So let's call this one Z. Okay. In the next statement, I am going to ask the user to give me two numbers, right? So I'm going to print and tell the user enter two numbers. Okay. So second statement done. Yeah, you can write them separately as well. Yes. If you have written declare X and then declare Y and then declare Z, that's also fine. Okay. Okay. Print, declare, print. Now I have to take the input in case the user gives me the number after this. So I'll be taking two inputs. So one I'll be storing in X, another one I'll be storing in Y. So likewise, I have written on the input box. Okay. So now I've got all the data that I wanted. I wanted two numbers from the user. I've got two numbers from the user. The next thing that I'm supposed to do is I'm going to do the calculation. So calculation would be Z equals to X plus Y. So I'm doing addition and I'm storing it in this variable, the new variable which I have declared over here Z. Okay. And since this is a normal process or a calculation, so I'll be putting it inside the process box. Clear? So I've got the result of the addition now. So this is something that I need to print on the screen. So I'll be printing this on the screen. So it will be print Z. And after that, I am supposed to end the program. Okay. So let's see if it is working fine or not. So this is something that I've come up with. This is the algorithm that I've come up with. Then let's see if this algorithm is going to work fine or not. So in order to check, I am going to execute this entire algorithm, and we know for executing any algorithm or any program, it has two parts of it. One is the memory part, another one is the output part, yes, which is visible to the user. So we're going to start. Next, we are going to declare these three variables. So I have got three variables in memory. Understood? Okay, so this is done. Now I'm going to be on the third step, and then now I'm going to execute this one, and this says print enter two numbers. So this is going to be printed on the output screen as it is. So output screen have this message on it, enter two numbers. Okay, and then the user will enter, let's say 5 and 10. So this 5, since it is the first one, it will be captured inside this X. This 10 is the second number, which this will be captured inside this Y. So we have 5 over here and 10 over here. Got it? Understood? Everyone, not getting responsible in chat. Come on, people. Okay, next is this is statement where the calculation, the addition is happening. So this is Z equals to X plus Y. Yes, 5 and 10 are just for example. These could be anything. We are just assuming these two random numbers. Okay. Okay, so Z equals to X plus Y. So X plus Y. Now we are going to add these two numbers. We have 5 over here. We have 10 over here. After addition, we'll get 15, and this 15 is going to be stored inside this variable. So we got 15 over here. Understood? Yes or no? In the next statement, we have print Z. So the value of Z is going to be printed on the screen. So we'll get 15 over here, since we have 15 in Z over here in memory. So we'll be what we'll be getting on the print screen or on the output screen, we'll get 15 over here, and after that the program will stop. So this is how the program is going to execute, and we are getting the correct answer in the end. Okay, so we are getting a couple of questions. Okay, let me take them one by one. Okay, so the very first one is, can you just show this result, this algorithm in Python so that we can understand easier? So, okay, so Python comes next. Okay, for those who are wondering if they wanted me to show it in Python, so I'm not going to do that. Python comes next. First, understand how programs or how algorithms are created. If you understand that much, if you can break down the logic into simpler steps, then you can write program in any programming language, be it Python, Java, or whatever it is. Okay. So first try to understand what we are doing. It's not, we are not trying to make a program. Okay, don't take it as a program, don't take it as an algorithm. Learn to understand the process. And the process is that in order to achieve the bigger problem, we are breaking it down into simpler steps. And that's what we have to learn over here. Okay. So don't go away from this focus point. Okay, this is the focus point. The focus point is that you have to learn how to break down a bigger problem into simpler steps in order to achieve the solution. Okay, this is what we are trying to learn over here. If you can do this, you can write program in any programming language. Okay, so that's the next thing. So you are asking me to skip step number 1 and just show you in this step number 2 because you are familiar with step number 2. So you need to understand step number 1 as well. Okay. Next one is please show flowchart with single declaration X, Y, Z. I think this is the single declaration, right? One single line. Okay, so question is to take two numbers. Yes, we have taken two numbers. Can you see? We have taken X and we have taken Y, two numbers. Got it? These are the two numbers we have taken as input. Okay, so why we are doing this statement? So one student is asking why we are creating enter two numbers. We are writing this statement because we need to send out a message to the user of this algorithm. Okay, after reading this statement, then and only the user will understand that he or she needs to give the two numbers. Just like let's take an example. If you are on the sign up page of Instagram, Instagram asks you to give an email address, then only you understand that you need to give an email address. If it just gives an empty box, then you will get confused, right? What I need to do with this. So that's the exact same thing that we are trying to achieve over here. Okay. Okay, next is what is the use of this algorithm in data science? Okay, so specifically, there is no use for this algorithm in data science. Okay, but understanding how algorithms are created, understanding how programs are created is something of the use in data science because later on in data science, you will be creating at least a few lines of codes in data science using Python later on. Okay, so you will be writing some machine learning models later on. Okay, so you need to understand how these are created. So that's why we are learning this. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I guess I have taken every question. Yes, the output comes in print because when we say about output, when we are talking about output is something that is displayed to the user. And print is the command that helps us in displaying something to the user. Okay. Okay, so let's see the pseudocode for this one. So pseudocode would be start, declare, print the message to enter two numbers. Okay. Next one would be input, taking the input, the two numbers, X and Y. Yes, you can use declare X, but then you are going to use Y and Z as well. Okay. 5 Z equals to X plus Y, because we need to do the calculation. This one. Okay. 6 1 is to print the result of the addition. So printing Z, and at the 7th step, I am going to stop this algorithm. Got it? Simple. So this is another example of sequential control structure, right? How many of you got the same? No, pseudocode is not a programming language. It looks like a programming language, but it's not. Okay. That's why it's called a pseudocode. It looks like a code, but it's pseudo. It's not exactly a code. Pseudo means false, okay, which is not exactly the same. How many of you got the same or similar? How many of you got the correct? Okay, they have not. They haven't made any errors. Haven't used Z, then also it's correct. If you haven't used Z, then also it's fine. If you have directly printed out the addition without storing it in the third variable, then also it's correct. Okay, so if your variable name is different other than Z, it's not Z. If you're calling it sum or maybe A, maybe B, maybe C, or maybe anything else, then also it's fine. Okay, so a lot of people are mentioning in the chat that what is exactly the use of this flowchart and algorithms. Okay, so now you can see that the program is very simple. It's just of 7 steps. Later on, you will see you will be making complex machine learning models and complex data science programs. Okay, at that point, sometimes it becomes difficult to understand where the flow is going to go. Even now, I also make these algorithms before implementing any program or before implementing any code. Okay, why I do this is it helps me in understanding where I need to take the flow of the control. Okay, it helps me understand which parts do I need to connect after which part in the program. Okay, so this is a very good practice because it helps you in reducing the errors. Because if you don't do this, what will happen is that right now we are doing this majorly to understand how to create an algorithm. Okay, the first objective is to understand how algorithms are created. Second one is to avoid errors later on in the practice. Okay, when you want to start coding. So even I do it today, and I do it to avoid errors when I create programs. So that's why I do. Okay, and out of these two methods, I always prefer flowcharts because they help me picturize more easy way. Okay, so my personal choice is always flowchart. So it can be yours can be maybe pseudocode. So whichever suits you, fine, you can choose that one to later on adopt in your life when you get into this career. Okay, but it is crucial to use these every now and then because they help you in understanding the flow of control of the program. Okay, because it might be a possibility that while creating the program, you get confused, you get stuck, you are not able to decide what to do next. So these things actually help you in picturizing and understanding where to go next. Okay, so this is exactly what the role of these things are. Okay, so print means to print something on the screen. Print means to print something on the screen. We are not taking input over here, print, enter two numbers. This is just giving out a message to the user. User then reads this message and inputs, and that input is captured by the input statement here. Got it? Print is not taking the input. Input is taking the input. Print is only giving out a message to the user that you need to enter two numbers now. Got it? This is what is happening over here. Done, everyone? Yes or no? Okay, shall we move to the next question? Okay, this is something that you need to practice on notebook. Okay, use pen and paper. That's the best way to do it. You do it, you don't get the correct one, then you just go to the next page and do it once again. Okay. So best way to practice creating a designing algorithm is to use a notebook and a pen. Okay. No software, no platform. There are platforms out there which will help you in designing algorithm, flowcharts and all. But my recommendation is that use pen and paper. It always helps. Okay, and it will stick in your head for a longer time. Okay, so we'll be moving to the next problem, people. And the next problem would be that you have to take, let me just type it down. Okay, you have to take two numbers as input from the user and check which of the two is greater and print the result. Okay, so what you are going to do is that you are going to take two numbers from the user, let them be x and y, and you will be checking whether x is greater or y is greater. And if x is greater, you will be printing x is greater, and if y is greater, then you will be printing y is greater. Okay, so this is what you need to do. Understood? Is the question understood by everyone? Yes or no? Come on, everyone in chat. Is the question understood? Okay, so would you guys like to try it yourself first? Go ahead. I am giving you guys 5 minutes. Everyone just take 5 minutes and try it yourself first. And meanwhile, for others who are not able to understand, I'm just repeating the question once again. So question is that you need to take two numbers from the user as an input. Okay. Once you get these two numbers from the user, you have to compare them, whether x is greater or y is greater. And if you find out that x is greater, you have to print the message that x is greater. And if you want to print the message, if you find out that y is greater, then you have to print the message on the screen that y is greater. Okay, got it? So this is what you need to do in this question. Okay, just go ahead, everyone, and try it yourself try it yourself. Okay, first, and after 5 minutes, I'll be taking this question in the class. Okay, got it? Done, everyone? Come on, people in chat. Done? Yes or no? Okay, so let me take it. Everybody, please pay attention. Okay, so for flow chart, so we'll be starting the algorithm. Then the next we'll be declaring, since we need two numbers, so I'll be declaring x and y. Okay. And the next what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the user to give me two numbers. So I'm going to print out a message, enter two numbers. Okay. And in the next, I'll have to take these two numbers as an input. So I'm going to input x and y. Okay, so I've got two numbers. Now I have to do what? I have to check whether x is greater or y is greater. So I'll be deciding based on this, right? So for decision making, I have decision box with me and I need to put down a condition and compare those two numbers. So let's just compare whether x is greater than y or not. Okay, and put this inside the decision box. Okay, and if this is true, and if this is true, okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to print out a message, and that message would be x is greater, right? This is what you are supposed to do. And let's say if this becomes false, which means y would be greater. If this becomes false, which means y is actually greater, then we are going to print out another message, a different message, which will say y is greater. Okay, so as you can see, our program has branched into two different directions over here, right? So what kind of control structure is this going to be? Absolutely correct. Conditional control structure. And after this, printing down this message, I'm going to stop my program. Understood? So this is how the flowchart of this problem is going to look like. Great if you got the correct it's exactly the same one. Okay, how many of you got the correct flowchart algorithm? Okay, another one exactly the same. One more. What about the rest of you? Use two rhombus. Okay, there was no need for two rhombuses because we had only one condition to check. Okay, please note it down. Let me know in the chat once you're done quickly. That's okay. If you have used yes or no instead of true or false, just replace it with true or false in your diagram. Okay. So this is conditional control structure. Okay. So let's see if this is actually working fine or not. Okay. So let's execute this algorithm. So here we got the memory part, and here we got the output part. Okay. So the program is going to start, then we are going to declare two numbers because we need to take two numbers from the user, right? So we are declaring two variables. So first one is x, we got x over here. Second one is y, we got y over here. Okay. So statement two is done. Now we'll be moving to the next one. Okay, now we're going to move into the next one, which is print enter two numbers. So this message is going to be printed on the screen as it is, enter two numbers. Got it? And let's say the user enters 5 and 10. So 5 will be captured by X, it comes first. So 5 will be captured here and Y will capture 10. Got it? So this statement is also done. Now in the next, we are going to check the condition, and the condition says that X is greater than Y, right? So in our case where X is 5 and Y is 10, the condition is going to be true or false? Come on everyone in chat. Absolutely correct. So it is going to be false. So our flow will move in this direction. Our control will flow in this direction. It is going to print this result, which is print Y is greater. So on the screen, you say you'll get Y is greater printed on the screen. And after that, the program will go over here and stop the program. The control will go in the next step, which says stop the program, and the algorithm will stop. Okay, so this is working fine, absolutely fine. Yes or no? So now let's take a look at the pseudo code. In pseudo code, we are going to use the keyword if, else, and if. Okay, so this helps us in defining the condition. Okay, so let's see how we are going to use this. So first one is to start the program. Everyone, please pay attention. What is the meaning of fourth step? So fourth step is actually checking out for the condition. Okay, and the condition is X is greater than Y. So if this condition is true, the program is going to go forward in this direction and print X is greater next. And if this condition becomes false, then the program is going to go in this direction and print Y is greater on the screen. Okay, so this is helping us out in deciding. So this rhombus is helping us out in deciding, and accordingly, the program will proceed further. Okay. Input X and Y. Okay, so here we are taking the two numbers from the user. We were supposed to take two numbers from the user, right? Here, if you can just pay attention a little bit over here in the question. So we are just taking two numbers from the user, two values from the user. Okay, so we are not considering the part where X and Y are equal over here. Okay. So if they are equal, in that case, the program is not going to function correctly. The question was to only handle whether either of the to check which one is the greater of the two. Okay, so that's what we are doing. Okay, so it's just a simple program. That's a complex. In that, we'll be requiring one more condition. Okay, you can try it out as a homework, everyone. Okay. Now, pay attention to everyone. Please pay attention to the pseudocode. So, pseudocode is first start, second declare. Okay, so declaring X and Y, two variables. Third one would be to print out a message, enter two numbers. Okay, fourth one would be to input X comma Y. Okay, taking the two numbers from as an input from the user. After that, we have to check this condition, right? So for checking the condition, we have if statement in pseudocode. So we have if X is greater than Y or not. If this is true, okay, if this is true, then what we are going to do is we are going to print X is greater. This message. If this is not true, then we have to handle the else part. If this condition is not true, so else handles the false part. So where what we are going to write, we are going to write another print statement, and that print statement says that Y is greater. Okay, and since we are done with if and else, so we'll be ending the if. Otherwise, the algorithm will not understand where to stop. Okay, so we have to end this if in case of pseudocode. And after this, what we are going to do is we are going to stop the program, because that is what all that we needed, we were needed to do. Okay. So this is how the pseudocode for the same algorithm is going to look like. Okay. So let me explain it to you guys. So here we started the program, then we declared the two variables. Okay. Just like we did over here. Okay. The next is we printed out a message for the user to enter two numbers to us. And after reading out this message, the user is going to give us the two numbers. It is going to input it. So when he or she inputs the numbers, we have to capture that input and store it inside our variable, which is x and y, which we have declared over here. Okay, so that is what we have done over here. In the next step, we were supposed to check this condition because now we want to figure out which of the two numbers is greater. So whether x is greater or y is greater. So we are checking if x is greater or not. Okay, if this condition becomes true, then we are going to execute step number 6, which says print x is greater. If this condition becomes false, then we are going to go to the else part, and else part takes us to the next statement, which says print y is greater. Understood? Okay. So when after this we are done, so everything that comes after this is considered inside. I'll tell that afterwards. Okay, so once we are done with this, so we have to stop the end if with the end if. Why we need to do is, so because what is happening over here. So let me just smooth the screen a little bit. Let me tell you guys why we are using end if. Okay, everybody please pay attention. So here, if you can just look at this program, look at this algorithm. Okay, please pay attention. So after this if, we automatically took that everything that is coming after this if is part of the true. If the condition is true, okay, the true side of the condition, right? So in order to break this, I have used else. Otherwise, if I haven't used else, whatever comes next is going to be the part of if only. Okay. So here I am using else to stop the true part of the if statement. So once I am done with true part, I am going to put the else. And I am going to put else only and only if I want to handle the false. Otherwise, I'll be putting end if. I want the computer, or I want the algorithm, or I want the reader of the algorithm to understand from where if started and where it ended. Okay, that's why we are using this end if statement, end if keyword. Okay, understood? Yes or no? So we have to set the boundary where if started and where it ended. So in order to define that boundary from the starting of the if and the ending of the if, we have to write end if. Okay, so the start is given by if and the condition itself, and the end is given by the end if statement. Understood? Okay, so if I don't write this statement, what will happen then? Okay, so I got this question in the chat, and if the question says, what will happen if I don't write this? Okay, so if I don't write this, then this stop will also be considered the part of else. So this stop will be executed when the condition is false only. Otherwise, the program will not execute this stop. Okay, so this is what is going to happen. So in case my condition is true, it will print x is greater, and after x is greater, it has nothing or nowhere to go. So the program or the algorithm, which is if I implement the same thing in any programming language, what is going to happen is that it is going to throw out as an error. Okay, that I do not understand where if is ending. That's why we are supposed to write end if. And if is for not only for else, it is actually defining whether this entire if block is ending, because else is the part of if only. It handles the false part of the if. Okay, else is not something in itself. Okay, it is not complete in itself, but if is complete in itself, and else is actually a part of it. It's a sub part of it. If. Okay, and we use else in order to define when the condition is false. So whatever we want to do when the condition is false, we use else statement. Getting it? Yes or no? Not getting it? Okay. Just give me a second. Okay, everyone, please pay attention. Okay, so how this pseudocode works is that how if statement works in pseudocode is that there is no way to define the the scope or the area of the if. Okay, so what happens is that let's say if there is a statement that says if and there is some condition. So whatever the statement that are going to come after this one, they are considered the part of the true part of the if. Okay, whatever amount of statements that come after this if statement, they are considered the part of this true part of the if. So if this condition becomes true, whatever condition that we have put inside this if this condition is true, then all these statements are going to be executed. Understood? Got it or not? In our case, we only have one statement in the true part of the if. But in actual in other programs, you will see that there can be any number of statements. Understood? So in order to define the number of statements, any number of statements, this is how the pseudocode works. So you have to define the if statement, and after this if statement, the pseudocode then whatever that is going to come after this if statement, it is going to be considered as the part of as the considered it is going to be considered and executed when the condition is true, the true part of it. If okay. And if you want to end this area of if you want to end this true part of the if, the area of the true part of the if, you have to either put end if. And in case you don't want to end this if and want to handle the false part of the if, then you don't write end if. What you do is you write else over here. And then whatever you write after this, whatever, any number of statement, whatever that you run right after this, they are going to be considered the part of false part of the if. Okay, any number of statements. And now if you want to stop this scope of else, stop this scope or this area of false part of if, then you need to end this if. Because if you don't, then everything that comes after over here is going to be considered the part of false part of if, which is handled by this else. Understood how it works? So this is how it works actually. And after this end if, your regular program can be written and executed. Other statements of the program. Is this understood by everyone? Yes or no? Anybody who has still any confusion with this? Come on, people. So in case of third condition, let's say if you have two conditions with yourself. So what you are going to do here is you will write if. Okay, you will write if, then you will write whatever that is going to come for the true part of this condition. Okay, and let's say after this in the false part you have another condition. So you will write else if like this, and you will write the second condition. This is condition number one. This is condition number two. And now you are going to write the true part of this condition. This one, second condition. True. Yeah, this is the true part of the first condition, and this is the false part of the first condition. And inside this false part of the first condition, we have the true part of the second condition. And then we can have the else part for the second condition, which will handle the false part of the second condition. And here you can have it like this. And now you will be ending this if, this entire chain of if. Okay, so like this, you can have any amount of letter. You can have any number of conditions. If you have multiple conditions to check. Got it? Else is not a condition. Okay. Else handles the false part. And if you want to add a condition to else, this is how you can do it. If you want to check a condition in the else part itself, then this is how you can do it. And this can be done in flowchart by using two rhombuses. Okay. We'll see. Don't worry. We'll be doing a couple of questions with that in mind. Okay. Don't worry. Yes, when first condition is false, then else is used. Otherwise, it is not going to be used it is not going to be used. Okay. This is why we use end if. Okay, this is why we use end if. That is what I was explaining. In order to make the reader of the algorithm understand where the scope or the area of false part of if else ends. Okay. Okay, well, you don't worry. If you are getting a little bit confused, you're finding it a tricky, you will understand once we get into the other questions. Okay. So let's move to the next question. So this one was an example of conditional control structure. I think everybody got that, right? If the first condition is true, then this part is going to be executed. Yes, there is a bit a difference between stop and end. If stop ends the program itself, and end if stops the if. That's it. It only stops the if. Okay, let's go to the next question, everyone. And this time we are going to take an exam, take a question which is a little bit different. And here what we are going to do is we are going to print numbers from 1 to 1000. Okay, so this is what you are supposed to do. Okay, so I want everybody to draw a flowchart for this problem. Everyone just go ahead and do it. Just a hint and heads up for everyone. This is from the repetitive control structure. So try to figure out an algorithm which is utilizing that. Okay. Done, everyone? Shall I take it? Okay, please pay attention, everyone, now. So we are going to start, and then I'm going to declare a variable. So I'm not going to get any value from the user, but I'm going to declare a variable because I'm going to print this numbers, right? So I'm going to declare a variable and initialize it with the default value of 1. Okay. In the next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check whether this x is less than 1000 or not, because I need to print the number starting from 1 till 1000. So I'm going to check whether this x is less than equals to 1000 or not. Okay. If this is true, if it is actually less than 1000, okay, well, less than equals to 1000, then I'm going to print the value of x. Print x. Because I need to print these numbers, right? From 1 to 1000. So I'm going to print this x. And after this one, I need to increase it because once I printed 1, I need to print 2. And after that, after 2, I need to print 3. So I'll be increasing this value. So I'm going to incrementing it. So I'm going to write x plus plus. So you haven't heard of increment. So what I'm going to write it, x plus equals to 1. Okay, this is going to increase the value of x by 1. Got it? Yes or no? And then I'm going to send it back to this statement where it is checking. I'm going to send it back to this decision box. Yes, this means this x will now become 2 and then it will become 3 and then it will become 4 and like this. I'm going to send it back and check for the condition. If this condition is true, then again I'm going to follow these 3 steps and then go back again, check the condition and like this. So this is going to go in circles and in loop again and again and again until this condition is true. So since this condition is true, it is going to move in this direction like this. And once this condition becomes false, we are going to move in this direction. Okay. Once this becomes false, this is going to go in this direction and we are going to stop the program here because by then I'm supposing that we would have printed all the numbers from 1 to 1000. Okay. Understood, everyone? Just look at it, note it down, and try to understand what I have done over here. And if you have any questions with this one, just let me know. Okay, try to figure it out yourself. Okay, what I have done. Read each and every single statement, try to execute it on your notebook. Okay, just do it. Then I'll explain it one more time. Don't worry. But try to do it again. Okay, in your head, on your notebooks. Okay, just do it. Everyone, try it. Okay, solve each and every single statement again and again and again. Try to solve it just like I do it, memory part and the output screen. Okay, whatever I do. Okay, just try to do it yourself. Okay, and then I'll explain the entire algorithm once again. Okay. Do it, everyone. Let me know in the chat once you're done. Okay. Done, everyone? Okay, so I have got a couple of questions. Yes, this plus equals to means adding 1 to the value of x. Absolutely correct. Okay. Okay. No, you cannot just write x plus 1. You have to write x plus equals to 1 because you have to change the value of x itself. Okay. So we'll be using the shorthand operator, shorthand addition over here. Okay, I'll be explaining the condition. Don't worry. Because we have print over here, we are not printing enter two numbers or enter a number like that because this one is static. This is already defined that you have to start from one. If you give user this choice, so user can enter any other number, right? So that's why I haven't taken this value of x from the user because this value is fixed for us in the question. This is not something that we are supposed to take from the user. That is not what is given in the question. Okay, so that's why we are not using enter a number and then taking the input or like that. Okay, that's why we are not doing that. So those who are asking me again and again for x plus equals to 1, I think you haven't revised what we discussed in the previous week's class. Last weekend, whatever we have discussed in that class, we have completed this in operators. So I would highly recommend that you go back and you watch the recording of that. Okay. Please do that. Otherwise, always important to revise what we have already done. It seems like you are not revising. Okay. So please don't do that. And I'm not going to explain it again because this is going to waste everybody's time. Okay, so please just do this revision after this class. Okay, you'll understand. Don't worry. Okay, you'll understand. Because I have tried to explain it very thoroughly in the class. Okay, so let's just execute this and try to figure out how it is happening over here. Everybody, please pay attention. So we got this memory part, and then we got this output screen. Okay, so we started the program, we declared a variable, and this variable is here x, and we have given it a default value of 1. Okay, here. Okay, then we'll move to the next statement, which is a condition checking, which is a decision box where a condition is going to be checked, and that condition is that whether x is less than equals to 1000 or not. Okay, x is less than 1000 or not. Okay. Yes, there could be any other flowchart as well for this one. Okay, if you have that one, just try to execute it like I'm doing it for mine. Okay, so I'm checking whether it is working fine for me or not. Okay, so this is something that you can do as well and try to figure out whether your flowchart is working or not. And if you have any doubt, you can also always use the ask out section in the LMS to give that flowchart to me, and I'll evaluate it and let you know the exact feedback for that one. Okay. Okay, so now I'll be checking this condition. So in our case, x is the value of x is 1. Okay, in our case, the value of x is 1, and the condition is that x must be less than equals to 1, x less than equals to 1000. So the condition is true or false, people? Come on in chat, everyone. I want everybody to be responsive in chat. Condition is true in our case, yes or no? True or false? Okay, I'm not getting responses from everyone. I want everybody to respond. Come on, people. Okay. So in our case, the condition is true. Why? Because this 1 is less than equals to 1000. It is less than 1000, right? So condition is true. So the program is going to go in this direction and it is going to print what? What will be printed on the screen? Come on, everyone. The value of x will be printed on the screen, which is 1. So we'll got 1 over here in the output screen. And the next we have x equals to x plus 1. X plus equals to 1 means x, this can be expanded as x equals to x plus 1. So the value of x will be changed, right? So here the current value of x is 1 and plus 1. This will give us 2. So the new value of x will be what? What will be the new value of x? So the new value of x will be 2. Absolutely correct. Again, we are going to go back to the top, check the condition. Condition will be true or false for x equals to 2. Come on, everyone in chat. Condition will be true or false? Condition will be true. Again, yes. So we are going to go in this direction, print the value of x. So what will be printed? What will be printed? 2 will be printed. Correct. Absolutely correct. 2 will be printed on the screen. Again, going to the next step, which is x plus equals to 1. What will be the new value of x? Absolutely correct. 3 will be the new value of x. Again, going to the top, checking the condition. Condition true or false? Come on, everyone. True. Absolutely correct. So we are going to go in this direction and print the value of x. So what will be printed? What will be printed? 3 will be printed, people. 3 will be printed. People are saying 4. So 4 is not going to be printed. We have x equals to 3 over here in memory. So 3 is going to be printed on the screen. What do we have as a value of x in memory? We have 3, right? So 3 will be printed. Can you see? We have 3 over here. We don't have 4 over here. So we have 3 over here. So 3 is going to be printed. Okay. Okay. So after that, we are going to increment the value of x over here. So what will be the new value of x? Correct. So the new value of x will be 4. Okay. So new value of x will be 4. And like this, it is going to go on further and further and further. Okay. And let's say it reaches to the point where the value of x is 999. Okay. The value of x becomes 999. So we again go to the top and check the condition. Condition is true or false? True or false for x equals to 999? Who can tell me? Come on, people. True, absolutely correct. So what will be printed on the screen on next screen will be on screen, the next value that is going to be printed is 999. Okay. Now again, what will the new value of x? At the next step, we are going to change the value of x. It will now become what? It will now become 1000. Correct. Absolutely correct. Again, going to the top, checking the condition. Condition true or false? Condition is true or false? Condition is true because we have equals to also over here. So condition is going to be true. Again, going into this direction, printing the value of x. So what will be printed on the screen? 1000. Absolutely correct. 1000 printed on the screen. Then again, going to the next step, changing the value of x. What will the new value of x? The new value of x will be 1001. Again, going to the top, checking the condition. Condition true or false? Come on, everyone. This time the condition will become false and the program will go in this direction. The algorithm will move in this direction. The control will go in this direction and the program will stop. So we have printed at the output screen. If you look at the output screen, we have successfully printed starting from 1 till 1000. Yes or no? Understood? Again, let's just take 1 minute, everyone. Take a look at this program. Take a look at how we have executed the program. Okay. Take a look at that and let me know if you still have any doubts. We don't have input statement over here because we do not require any value from the user. That's why we do not have input over here. We only use input when we require some value from the user. Understood? Okay, so whatever your confusion is, just put it down in the chat and I'll help you with that. Okay, so the question is, one of the student is asking, sir, how do I know that I have to use condition? I have to use decision box and condition in this question or not? Okay, so that totally depends on the logic that you are creating. Okay, I'm not saying that this is something that you're going to get out of the blue, or there is some process to it. That all depends on you, how you are creating the algorithm. Okay, so like I was creating the algorithm for this one, I know that I have to print the value numbers from 1 to 1000. And since I'm going to do it, I'm going to repeat certain number of steps because there is going to be a repetition happening. What is that repetition? Repetition is that I'm going to print 1, then I'm going to print a number again. So I can just increment the number and print 2, and then again I can increment the number, increase the value by 1 and print 3, then again increase and print 4, and then again and increase and print 5, and like this I can go till 1000. This is something that I have thought in my head. And how I thought that, because if I do this on pen and paper myself, I will be doing the same thing, right? So if I ask you to write numbers from 1 to 1000, what you're going to do? You are going to first start write 1, yes or no? And then in the next line, what you will do, you will add 1 to the previous number and write it down over there. So you'll write 2, right? Yes or no? And then in the next line, in the third line, what you will do, you will add 1 to 2 and then write 3. In the next line, you will add 1 to 3, the previous number, and then write 4, right? This is exactly how you are going to do it, yes or no? And this is exactly what I have told the computer to know. Okay. And if you just pay attention, you yourself are also checking the condition in your head, whether this number, whether I have reached 1000 or not, whether you are realizing it or not. But in the back of the head, you are checking this condition, whether you have reached 1000 or not, yes or no? So this is all something that you are already doing. If I ask you to do this and I give you a pen and paper, you will be doing the very same thing. So you just need to figure out, if I am going to solve this problem, what steps am I going to take? And you have to tell the computer to do exactly the same. And that's how the computer knows what to do. Okay. Yeah, these things are operators, and operators are already understood by the computer. We have already discussed this, right? We use decision box because we wanted to check whether we have reached till 1000 or not. That's why we have used the decision box. So decision box is actually helping us how to figure out whether we have reached till 1000 or not. If we haven't reached 1000, then I'll continue printing the numbers. If I have reached 1000, then I'm going to stop. So this is based on this condition, I'm deciding whether I want to print the next number or not. Okay, that's why we have used decision box. Understood? Yes, there can be different approaches to this problem. You want me to show you? I can show you. If you want me to show you, I can show you a different approach to this very same problem. Okay. So let's say I started the program. Everybody please pay attention. And let's say I declared a variable again. X equals to 1. Okay. Then let's say I printed this value of X. Okay. Because I wanted to print this value 1, right? And then let's say I increase this value. Okay. So I write X plus equals to 1. And then I check. Okay, what did I check? Whether this X plus 1, the new value of X, whether it is less than equals to 1000 or not. Okay, if this is less than 1000 or not, if this is true, then I'm going to go back to this statement and start printing again. If this is false, then I'm going to stop the program. So this is another way of designing this algorithm, another method, another solution, but it is also doing the same thing. Got it? This time we are checking the condition at the end. Previously, we were checking the condition in the beginning itself. Okay, you can do again you can do one more thing if you want. Okay, what you can do is you can just erase this part. Okay, and instead of equals to, just write less than equals to. And after this, you just, after printing, you just check the condition. And if this is condition is true, what you can do is you can just increase the number by 1 here, and then print the number. So this is again another way of writing this very same flowchart or this very same solution. Another method. Okay, another way, another solution, third solution for the very same problem. So you can have multiple solutions to the same problem, but the end result must be the same. Got it? Understood by everyone? Yes or no? So I have shown you 3 different solutions for the very same problem. but all of them are doing the same thing. Understood? I don't think there could be any other condition. I have used two conditions. First one is x less than equals to 1000. Second one was f x less than 1000. So two conditions, two different conditions I have used in these three examples. First two were following x less than equals to 1000. And the third one is using the condition where x is less than 1000, different condition. Okay. If this is not coming to your mind, don't worry. You are not used to it, but you'll get used to it. Okay. Try to look at these problems after this class. Okay, so you'll understand. Okay, oh, this is something that was happening. So what is happening over here is that I'm not making these things up. It's not something that I have learned these examples. Okay, this is something that you yourself are doing every single day. If just take a pen and paper and try to approach the problem by yourself. Don't try to figure out what will be the algorithm for this one, whether I need to use the process box or the decision box or the input output, or what box do I need to use. Okay, don't think about that. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is that you need to figure out how you are going to solve it. If this problem was given to you, how you are going to solve it, and try to pay attention on all the steps that your mind is taking, because your mind does a lot of things without even you noticing, right? Yes or no? Right? So just try to figure out how your mind works, and you have to tell the computer to do exactly the same, and that's how computer is able to do everything. Understood? Just pay attention to your mind. Okay, you need to observe how your mind is working, that's all. Okay, and the best way to do is that you take a pen and a paper and try to write down whatever that is coming to your head, and try to figure out what is happening over here there, and then you'll be able to break the entire problem into simpler steps. Okay, you will be able to do it. Okay, believe me, you will be able to do it. Take any problem. Okay, not just this. Just go ahead and take any problem by yourself and try to figure out all the steps that you will be taking to solve this problem, and then write down the algorithm, and then it's done. Okay, got it, everyone? Yes or no? So you already know all these steps. You already are doing it by yourself. You are already doing it daily, in your daily lives. It's just that you are not aware of it. Okay, so the thing is that what we are trying to do is we are trying to make you aware of it. Understood? Yes, you can write down Python programs. If you are familiar with Python, you can write Python programs for these algorithms and run it on your Jupyter notebooks, and it will run fine. Okay, it will run absolutely fine. If you know how Python works, if you are already aware of Python, you can do it. Yes. And if you encounter any errors, just use the ask now section, and we will help you out with that. Okay. And if you know any other programming language, there are people in the class who must have studied any programming language in their 12th standard or maybe 10th standard, right? So if you are aware of any programming languages, then you can try it them out. Okay. And if you are don't, then don't worry, we'll be learning Python in a couple of classes. Okay. Then you can try them. Okay. Done, everyone? And if you pay attention to this one is an example of repetitive control structure. Yes. Can you see? We have a loop forming over here. Done, everyone? Yes or no? Done? Okay. So let's take a look at pseudocode for this problem. Okay, so before getting into the pseudocode for this problem, there are two types of loops that I want you to understand in order to create algorithms using pseudocode. Okay, the first one is for loop, and the second one is while loop. Okay, and this for loop is used when we know the number of repetitions. When we know the number of repetitions. Okay, like in this particular example, we already know that the loop is going to repeat itself for 1000 times. Yes or no? So we already know the number of repetitions. There could be cases where we do not know the number of repetitions. Okay, in that case, we'll be using while loop. Okay, when we do not know the number of repetitions. Okay, understood by everyone? And how we write these two loops is that for loop, we write it like this: for x equals to 1 to 1000. So now what is going to happen is that whatever that comes after this is going to repeat itself for 1000 times, and then we need to end this for. So this is how we write for loop. Okay. And for while loop, what we do is we while, and then we write down a condition. Okay, and whatever that comes after this is going to be executed until this condition is true. Until this condition is true. Okay, and then we need to end this while. There is no false part to it because this is not if. Okay, this is loop. Okay, and this loop is going to execute or repeat itself again and again until this particular condition is true. Got it? And then we end this while. So once this condition becomes false, this while will end, and then the next part of the program is going to get executed. Understood? Yes or no? Yes, please note it down. Let me know in the chat once you're done. Okay. Okay, I'm repeating while once again. So for while, this is how you write it. This is the way of writing it, the syntax for writing while in pseudocode. So you write while like this, and then you specify a condition. So until this condition is true, these statements are going to be executed again and again and again. Okay, and once this condition becomes false, you are going to end this while. Got it? So this is how while works. Just copy it down, everyone, and write down the explanation, note down the explanation as well, and let me know in the chat once we're done. Okay. Yes, for this algorithm, we can use while as well as for, but the ideal one would be for because we know the number of repetitions. Okay. Got it? While is not a condition, while is a loop. Please don't write in chat while condition. While is not a condition. While is a loop. It has a condition with it to operate, but it is not a condition. It's for condition we have if. Okay, if is a condition. If is a decision making thing. While is a loop. Okay, so always write while loop or loop like that. Okay. So I'm repeating while loop once again. So for while loop, we have this condition over here. So we have this condition over here. Okay, until this condition is true, all these steps are going to be executed again and again and again. Okay, again and again and again. Okay, and then once this condition becomes false, the while loop will stop, and for that we have to put end while to understand where the while ends. Understood? This defines the boundary of while. I'll give you an example of while, don't worry. Okay, I'll give an example of while. Done, everyone? Okay, so we got one more question. Sir, if both can be used, how do we determine which one is better? Okay, so both of them are equal. First of all, both of them are equal. You can use any one of them. Okay, it's just the idea is if you know the number of repetition, use this one for loop. When you do not know the number of repetition, you can use the while loop. Because in that particular case, there is going to be some condition that you need to repeat certain number of steps again and again until this condition is true. Otherwise, you can stop. Okay. You'll see. Don't worry. When we take examples of each one of them, you'll see. So this particular example, this particular question is the example of for loop. So those who are done, you can just go ahead and try to figure out the pseudocode for this one using for loop. Okay, just do it and let me know in the chat once you're done quickly. Everyone. Okay, try to figure out. And you can also try while loop as well. Okay, just try to figure out both for loop as well as while loop. Okay, try to do it using both of the loops separately. Okay, and let me know in the chat once you're done. Just try to do it yourself first. Done, everyone? Yes, come on, people. Okay, so let me take it. So first I'll be doing it using for loop. Everyone, please pay attention. So we have step number 1, start. We have step number 2, and we are going to not declare anything because we are defining x equals to 1 over here. So I'm just going to declare the variable and not define any value to it. Okay. And in the next, what I'm going to do is okay. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put for x equals to 1 to 1000. Okay, and what I do need to do for inside this loop, I need to print the value of x, right? So print x, and after that end for, and after that stop the program. So this is using for loop. And if I do this program, the same program using while loop, this is how I'm going to do it. Start. Second one is declare x equals to 1, and then third one would be while x is less than equals to 1000. So I have given it out the condition. So since this condition, until this condition is true, I am going to print the value of x. Then I am going to end the while loop and stop the program. Got it? Oh, there is increment also required. Thank you so much. X plus equals to 1, and then end while, and then stop the program. Thank you. In this case, we do not need increment. For is going to take care of the increment itself. Okay, but here in while, the while does not take care of the increment. We have to do the increment ourselves. Okay, understood, everyone? X plus equals to 1 is used to increase the value of x by 1. So initially it will be 1, then it will become 2, then it will become 3, then it will become 4, 5, 6, 7 till 1000. It is going to go till 1000. Okay. So that's why we have used this increment. Got it? Declaring a variable means that you have created a memory space for that variable, and if you write x equals to 1 or equals to 7 or anything like that, then you are assigning it a value as well. Declaring means that you are initializing this variable inside memory. So now it is available for you to use during the algorithm. Okay, so we cannot use if because if does not tell the algorithm to repeat certain number of steps. Okay. For and while tell the algorithm to repeat the number of steps. If we execute the steps of the statements only once, But in for and while, we repeat the statements until the condition is true or until the repetition is required. Got it? Done, everyone? Yes or no? Understood? Done, everyone? X plus equals to 1 is used to increase the value of x. Okay, this while does not take care of the increment. For takes care of the increment, but while does not take care of it. If I don't write this step number 5, then the value of x is always going to be 1 till infinite times. So this loop is going to repeat itself for infinite times. It is not going to end anywhere. Got it? Why I'm increasing the value of x? I'm increasing the value of x so that I am going to print 1. Then after 1, I need to print 2. So from 1 to 2, to go from 1 to 2, I have to increase the value of 1. So that's why I'm doing x plus equals to 1. This increment is not taken care by the while loop itself automatically. Okay, this does not happen automatically. That's why we have to do it explicitly ourselves. Got it? Understood? Yes or no? Okay, people. So now I'm going to give you guys few homework questions. Okay, and then you all need to do and come to the class next Saturday. Okay. So here are the questions, everyone. Okay. So first question would be to take 3 numbers and find out the smallest one. Okay. So what you guys need to do in this question is you need to take 3 numbers from the user and then you need to find out which one is the smallest and print. So let's say you are taking X, Y, and Z. And let's say you find out that Y is the smallest one. So you need to print Y is the smallest on the screen. Got it? Question understood by everyone? Yes or no? Come on, people in chat, everyone. Not understood? I'm repeating it myself. Everyone, please pay attention. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to take 3 numbers from the user. Let's say the 3 numbers are X, Y, and Z. Okay. And you need to find out which one is the smallest. Okay. So let's say you find out that Y is the smallest number. So then you need to print on the screen that Y is the smallest. This message you need to print on the screen. If you find out that X is the smallest, then the message that you need to print on the screen is that X is the smallest. Understood? Question understood by everyone? Yes or no? Please note it down. Second will be to take a number from user and tell whether the given number is even or odd. Got it, everyone? I think everybody knows what even numbers are and what odd numbers are. Those who do not know, even numbers are the numbers which are divided by divisible by 2, which that can be divided by 2. And odd numbers are the one which cannot be divided by 2. Understood? So you need to take a number, ask user for a number, and let's say user enters, let's say 1000. Then you need to tell the user whether this 1000, the new number given to you, is even or odd. Got it? Got it? Understood? Yes or no? Yes. Have you all noted it down? Okay. Next is that I want all of you to design a calculator. Okay. Okay. So you need to design a calculator. So how you are going to do is what you need to do is in the starting of the program, you need to ask the user whether they want to do addition. Okay. The operations that are going to be taken care are going to be addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so your calculator will be able to do these arithmetic operations. Okay, so what you are going to do is we are going to ask the user whether he or she wants to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Okay, and let's say he or she enters that they want to do addition, then you will ask for two numbers, and when they give you two numbers, you are going to do the addition and print the result. Got it? This is what you are supposed to do. Understood? Okay, great. Next question will be to print terms of the series 1, comma 2, comma 4, comma 7, comma 11, comma 16, and dot 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 until to print all the terms of the series, all the terms of the series which are less than 100. Got it? Understood. So here we have a series, people. Okay, so the series is 1, then 2, then 4, then 7, then 11, then 16. Okay, let me just explain this series to you all. So we have 1, then 2, then 4, then 7, then 11, then 16, and then so on. So you got the second number by adding 1 to it. Then you got the next one by adding 2 to it. Then you got the next one by adding 3 to it. So this difference is increasing by 1. Okay, then adding 4 to it, then adding 5 to it. And like this, you are going to proceed further. Got it? So this is how the series is working. So what you need to do is you need to print all the terms of this series until you reach 100. So all the terms which are less than 100, you need to print all of them. Got it? Is the question understood by everyone? Yes or no? So this is what you're supposed to do in this question number 4. This is going to use for loop, while loop, sorry. Just a heads up for everyone. Because here you do not know how many times you need to repeat the loop. You only know that you need to repeat the loop until you have reached 100. Okay. So this is a perfect example of while loop. Because this cannot be done by for loop. Not possible by for loop. So perfect example. Okay. So try to attempt this using while loop, everyone. Okay, try to do all these 4 questions. And what you need to do is once you are done with these questions, you need to do it on notebook, everyone. Okay. And once you're done with these questions, once you have done them, so what you need to do is you need to click the photographs of whatever you have done on your notebook, and you need to submit that photograph using the asked out section. Okay. Do you know where the asked out section is in your LMS? No? Okay, I'll show you. Don't worry, I'll show you. Can you guys see the LMS screen? This is how it looks like, right? Yes or no? This is exactly how it looks like. Okay. So here you have this more option on the left side bar. Can you guys see this on your LMS screen as well? Just follow me, everyone. Okay. I want everybody to follow. So you have this more option. You need to click on this. And here you have the asked out section. Can you guys see it? The asked out section. Okay. Just click on it. This will take you to a new screen that looks something like this. Are you all on the same page as I am? So once you are here, you will see this big pink button that says asked out. Okay, click on this one and this will open up a form. Can you see this form? Okay, so just write down algorithm homework over here. And in priority, you can set to low, and in query type, just select data science because you guys are data science students. So just select data science, academic data science. And here you can write, please find attachment, something like this. Okay, and then you can use this upload attachment button to upload any number of files. Okay, got it? So you can select multiple files from here and then click on this submit query and I will receive these answers. Okay, whatever that you are going to submit, I am going to receive it. Understood by everyone how you can submit your homework? Yes or no? So this is how you need to do it. Okay, so you have got till Friday to submit all these homeworks, and in Saturday we'll meet again and take a couple of more questions and put a stop to programming foundation. I was hoping we could do it today but we took a little bit of extra time, so we won't be ending it today, but we will end it on Saturday. Got it? Okay, so fourth question is to print all the terms of this series which are less than 1000. So this is the series. I think you have understood, everyone has understood this series. In this series, what is happening? You are getting the next number by adding 1, and this difference is also incrementing by 1. This difference itself is increasing by 1. So first you have the difference is 1, then it is 100, not 1000, it is 100. Okay, so you have started with 1, you added 1 to it, you got 2. In this 2, you will be adding 2 and got 4. In this 4, you will be adding 3 and that got 7. In this 7, you will be adding 4 and got 11. In this 11, you will be adding 5 and then got 16. After this 16, you will be adding 6 to it and you will get 22. Okay, and then in 22, you will be adding 7 and you will get 29. And like this, you need to proceed further. So you have to print all these numbers, okay, until you reach 100. Okay, I haven't written equals to. If 100 is the part of this series, you do not have to print it. You have to print until it's less than 100 only. Understood by everyone? Yes or no? Okay, so I got a question. How to increase this difference by 1 from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 and 2 to 4 and 4 to 5? Okay, so that is something that I would want you to figure out. Okay, I'm not going to explain everything because then I'll be giving out everything. Okay, so that won't be interesting and fun to do, right? So first try to figure it out yourself. Don't panic. Don't worry. You will figure out. Okay, just try to solve this question yourself first, how you are doing it. Okay, just try to figure out how you are doing it first and then implement the same thing in the algorithm. Got it? Yes, you need to upload flowchart as well as pseudocode, both the things. Mandatory. Done? Question number 1 not understood. Okay, in question number 1, what you need to do is you need to take 3 numbers from the user. Okay, you need to ask the user to enter 3 numbers. So user will give you 3 numbers. So let's say you have taken them in variables x, y, and z. Okay, then what you are going to do is you are going to compare all these values and try to figure out which one is the smallest one. So let's say if you figure out that y is the smallest one, then the message that you need to print on the screen is y is the smallest. Okay, and let's say you find out that x is the smallest one, then you need to print the message on the screen that x is the smallest. Got it? So that's what you are supposed to do. I think all 4 questions are pretty easy. Once you start doing them, you will find out that all of them are pretty easy. They just seem a little bit difficult, but they are not actually difficult. Okay. Explaining question number 3 as well. One of the student asked. So in question number 3, you need to design an algorithm. Design a calculator. So what you need to do is you need to first ask the user whether they want to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Okay. So let's say if they choose addition. So what you will be doing, you will then ask them to enter 2 numbers. Okay. Once they give you 2 numbers, you are going to add the 2 numbers and print the result on the screen. And let's say if they have chosen multiplication as the operation, then what you need to do is you need to ask them for 2 numbers again and do the multiplication and print the result. Got it? So this is what you're supposed to do. Or you can do it in other way as well. What you can do is you can ask them for 2 numbers first, and then you can ask them what operation do they want to do, whether they want to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So whatever choice they make, accordingly you can calculate and give out the result. Got it? Yes or no? Yes, great. So with that note, I'll be ending today's class now, people, and let's meet up once again on next Saturday. And let's see how many of you are able to do. Okay. So people, just keep this one thing in mind, that this is something that you already know. What I am doing here in this class is I'm just trying to make you guys aware of it. Because if I give you 3 numbers and ask you which one is the smallest, you will tell me which one is the smallest, which means you already know how to do it. Yes or no? You just need to figure out how you are doing it. And you need to break it down into simpler steps and then put it down in form of an algorithm. This is exactly what you are supposed to do. Got it? You are already doing, you are already aware of how you are supposed to do this. Okay. You already know how to do all these 4 questions. It's just that you are not just aware of the process. So we are just trying to do the practice of making ourselves aware of the process. Got it? Okay, people. So I'll be ending this class now. And till then, have a good night and have a great week ahead, guys. And I'll see you guys once again on the next Saturday's class. Until then, bye bye, everyone.